Thank you. Region 4, Aranac, Gratiot, Isabella, Midland, Saginaw Bay, Clare, Gladwin, Montcalm, Ionia, Mecosta, and Osceola. John?
I thought you were going to try my last name again.
Not at all.
I'm John Van Nieuwenhuizen. I'm president of 8CAP, which is a community action agency. Two of my counties, Gratiot and Isabella, are in Region 4. Our area is very much like the one Jane described. We have quite a fair amount of rural area, places where cell phones don't work, and then we have urban areas and small cities such as Saginaw, Midland, Bay City area. And so the needs and the concerns are many and varied. The top priorities that were identified in a very, very successful meeting this afternoon with high energy and cheering, and I wish you had been there. It was quite wonderful, and it needs to be continued. Education and everything that it encompasses, all the way from early childhood up through the worker re-education in Michigan, were top priorities. There's a huge amount of frustration between what happens when a worker is told to get educated and the job that could potentially lead to, because those jobs are not there in many cases. The training is required, and the job doesn't come to the situation to help one justify all the work that goes into all that education, and that's very frustrating. There is a very big need to maintain the safety net that we are providing for those that are in poverty, to make sure that they can get that job and get some energy going in that job, build some capital, build some possibly even be able to support themselves before the rug is jerked out from underneath them. Many cases of people losing child care help, food help, the bridge card, everything goes because you got a job now, you have no health care anymore, and so why go to work because now I can't make it. I cannot make it on what I'm making. A lot of frustration at that beginning job level with people. And so advocacy, as you all spoke about, working through this is going to be a big, big issue for us. There were many others, too numerous to talk about. Thank you.
Thank you very much. In Region 5, which is Genesee, Huron, Lapeer, St. Clair, Sanilac, and Tuscola, we're very happy to have Mary.
Thank you very much. My name is Mary Ann Vandemark. I'm the Executive Director of the Community Action Agency covering the four probably rural counties in the Thumb area, Tuscola, Huron, Sanilac, and Lapeer. The region also encompasses Genesee and St. Clair, as you heard. So we have a variety here of mainly rural farming community, and then Genesee, which is really suffering from job losses, and then St. Clair County that is also suffering from closings of small shops or manufacturing that supported auto industry. So we have a multitude of things. We have divided the area up into 3 sections so that we can each address the 4 county issues, the urban issues, and then the St. Clair issues, which are not quite the 4 county issues and not quite the Genesee issues. Then we will have representatives from those groups meet together so that we have a melting pot and put that together. We had a wonderful meeting this afternoon, a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of ideas, and many of the things, even though they might say education would be one issue, you still had to look at it from a job training perspective, you had to look at it from a children's poverty, and so all those issues rolled into one. They talked about the lack of resources, which of course is jobs. And so then the lack of resources relates to money, high energy costs, housing, affordable housing, and so forth. Again, children in poverty, which also relates back to money. So they're all entwined, even though they look like they've identified separate issues, they're really not separate issues. They really tied together. A lot of what their discussions were the support systems for single moms or with children and not having enough resources, but more of a system that was almost like an exchange of a barter system, that we could each help each other. instead of always depending on something else. There was excitement. Again, we will be meeting in December and in January. We did put forth a 100-day plan, looking at maybe one of the first ones that we could identify is the high cost of energy and possibly some jobs with weatherization programs. And again, I think the movement is there. I think they're excited. I think they're concerned. And I think all of a sudden there's just some excitement that not everybody is just talking. Maybe we're going to do something. So I'm very excited myself. So thank you.
Thank you, Mary. We need excitement. That's a good thing. That's a very good thing. Now, I am a little biased. I think the Southwest Michigan is the greatest area of Michigan, having been born in Berrien County. And so I'm eager to hear what Nancy's going to share. Southwest Michigan encompasses Allegan, Berry, Berrien Branch, Calhoun, Cass, Kalamazoo, St. Joseph, and Van Buren.
And thank you for listing those counties out, because I was going to struggle with that. 9 counties is too many for me to remember. First thing I wanted to say is it was so nice to have the mix of people that we had in the room. One of the reasons that I'm in the line of work that I'm in is that advocating for people is really important, especially people who haven't had a voice, and hence the Voices for Action is a great title for what we've done today. I want to share that I had a chance to walk around the room and listen, and I heard people who finally did get a chance to express their very personal concerns in respect to poverty. And what a lot of people were saying is, even when I've gotten the training, I can't get a job. And then when I go to get help, there aren't enough resources to even help me. And you know, that's the line of work that we do, and it's hard when you hear that from people who we are striving to help. We had 9 breakout groups, and we actually got to vote on the issues that were presented in the survey. And there's a couple things I want to share with you. Job creation was the #1. So that myth that people in poverty don't want to work, they do. We don't have the jobs for them. Secondly, homelessness and secure housing, and that's not a surprise given what we're going through with foreclosures and affordable housing. So those 2 were no shock. Next on their list was related to education, both early childhood and post-secondary. So people are choosing things that will help them. The other thing that was very interesting about the vote that got no support in a room of 300 people was asset building and matched savings accounts. And I wanted to share that with the group because I think Donna Beagle said it in one of her presentations today. When I have $13 left after I've paid my rent, I don't have an opportunity to save. And we really need to think about that, because it is, when you look at poverty, that is a critical issue. It means there's no safety net, hence back to making sure that we have that safety net. So our top 2 were job creation and housing security.
Thank you very much, Nancy. Give Southwest Michigan a round of applause when you do.
We like Southwest Michigan.